Welcome to Undisputed. We're live from Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Go ahead, Skip. Go ahead. Every time I try to say something, you always interrupt. Go ahead and talk now.
You better get that hen ready. Better
For
get
what?
those Black Miles ready. You're going to be celebrating tomorrow.
Celebrate what?
Celebrating LeBron's big Game 1 win.
Look,
Here we go.
Bron,
I'm on that Cavs bandwagon now.
Bron,
Here we go.
Don't do that, Skip.
Here we
Skip,
go. I got to
that.
get some.
First of all, Bron and I don't really do celebrate first games. We don't do. That's not what we do.
Joy, did you notice what he was doing all during the Pacers? Yeah. Every time they won, did he come out there with big cigars? You don't really celebrate?
Hold on. First of all, Skip, did I bring anything in on Monday after that monstrous game LeBron had? I could have, but that's not me. I'm not that guy anymore.
You knew he had checked out for 5
minutes. See, Skip.
Well, there we go.
Why do you ruin every good conversation?
How are you, Shannon?
Every good
Here
conversation.
We go, Joy.
You ruin it.
You know what I think it was? I think that you indulged all weekend and you felt like it was a little bit too much.
My tum-tum.
Let's get started with Tom Brady. He spoke at a conference here in L.A. yesterday and confirmed he wants to play until his mid-40s. He was also asked about his state of mind after all the reported tension with Bill Belichick. Take a listen.
Do you feel appreciated by them, and do they have the appropriate gratitude for what you have achieved?
I plead the fifth. Look, man, that is a tough question. Yeah, I mean,
your wife seems to indicate.
I think everybody in general wants to be appreciated more at work.
Are you happy?
I have my moments.
Shannon, are you surprised by Brady's comments?
I am, that he let some of his true feelings out. And some people was like, well, he was joking. He said it in a sarcastic manner. But, Skip, you know absolutely how he really feels. Now, he saves his harshest critique of Coach Belichick and what he's really feeling to his closest family and friends. But I can assure you Tom Brady really feels this. Because here's the thing. Skip, he felt really, really appreciated up until last year when he mentioned, and we didn't hear this part, his mentor, the guy that taught him so much as a 22-year-old, and he would not be in position, the position that he's in now, he would not be there had it not been for Coach Belichick. So he believed Coach Belichick appreciated him up until the very moment that Coach Belichick was going to do to Tom Brady what he had done to so many of Tom Brady's teammates. I'm going to get rid. I know your play is going to decline at some point, but it's not going to decline on my time. I'm ready to let you go a year or two early as opposed to having you decline on my time. So Tom Brady, that's the you notice, Joey, every time somebody asks him a question, what did he say? That's a really hard one. They ask him in Tom versus Time, how are you feeling after the loss? Well, that's a tough question. It's not tough. Are you appreciated? That's really no, it's not. It's as simple. I feel this way. No, I'm not appreciated the way I should be. I helped put 5 Lombardis in that trophy case. And here we are. This guy's trying to get rid of me. Tom Brady he said, Coach Belichick and I had. Does he not play for the Patriots anymore? Because normally it would have been Coach Belichick and I have.
That is correct.
But I don't want to get into parts of the word, Joy, because now, because a couple of months ago I was speaking with Kevin Love when I said how he should have handled Isaiah. But Tom Brady was saying, basically, I was really appreciated until he tried to put Jimmy Garoppolo in my spot. And now I don't feel appreciated, and I'm letting you I'm just letting y'all know I'm just joking, but I can't stand that joke. Man, you make me sick. Skip, even you going to have to say on this one. He spent 19 years developing this oh golly gee whiz Tom.
He did.
He's not going to throw that out the window by going on an epic rant on how things happened over the last 3 or 4 months. But I can assure you, Tom Brady is in his feelings, and he feels some type of way about Coach Belichick.
Do I ever agree with everything you just said? Because to me, these comments from Tom Brady were stunning. By Tom Brady's standards, these were scathing. This was Tom Brady's version of going LeVar Ball on Bill Belichick. This is as close as he's ever going to get. To me, it went from aw shucks, gee whiz, Tom, to that's drop the mic. All he needed to say was, I plead the fifth. Wait a minute. Hold, time out. This is the reigning MVP who last seen in a game, it was a big playoff game in which he broke the all-time playoff record for yards thrown during a game with 505. So he's coming off a pretty good high, even though obviously he did turn it over late and they did lose the football game to Nick Foles, 41-33. I'll get to that part in just a moment. But you would think that a quarterback of this magnitude, most people agree, concur, that he's the greatest quarterback ever. You would think that if he's asked, are you happy, he would say something besides, I have my moments. You have your moments? What? That's as scathing as he's going to get.
Yes.
So, is he appreciated by the organization? And remember, the organization includes the head coach and the owner that we thought it was Tommy, like another son.
Correct.
And I plead the fifth. You plead the fifth about Robert Kraft? Seriously? And now I'll get to the final salvo, which was
You have to explain that pleading the fifth means self-incrimination. I might say something.
I can't answer that question because I'll be too honest.
Yes.
I'll say something that I'll never be able to live down about either my head coach or my owner. And then he's asked about Malcolm Butler. And he goes on, and he did say at one point, Malcolm came to him repeatedly during the game and said, TB, he says, let's go, meaning let's go, what? And Tom says, I kept going, what defense are we in where Malcolm's not on the field? Is it short yardage? Is it goal line? That's just sarcastic comments to Jim Gray, right? And in the end, Jim Gray asks, do Patriot fans deserve an explanation for why Malcolm Butler did not play a single defensive snap in the Super Bowl? And Tom says, I don't know. That's probably a better answer for the guy who owns our team.
Whoa.
For the guy who owns our team. And again, the guy?
He got no name?
Yeah, this is the guy who, in one of the Tom versus Time episodes, we saw him FaceTiming with Tom and his mom at the kitchen table in San Mateo.
She's getting a ring.
Yeah, and she's getting a ring. And she says, Mr. Kraft, and he says, no, I'm RK. I'm RK. And now we go from RK to the guy who owns our team. The guy? Seriously? Because I don't think he was real pleased with a lot of things that happened after the guy ordered the coach to trade Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he's the one. And, Skip, I agree. Mr. Kraft, you would think, would be the one guy. Because when Tom was going through what he was going through with Deflategate, Mr. Kraft was willing to risk it all. Until the other owners like, Bob, this is what you need to do. And then even after he did it, he said, I regret that I did it because I should have fought. Yep. So he believed in Tom.
He did.
He's in Israel, and Tom is FaceTiming him as if he's his child. Yep. When Tom Brady cut his thumb, he FaceTimed Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft doesn't even finish the meal. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even get served the meal. He hops on his private plane and goes back to Boston.
He did.
So he needed to be there. And to hear Tom say, you'll have to ask the guy that owns the team. Well, he could have easily said, well, that's a question you'd have to ask Mr. Kraft, because he's the only one that Coach Belichick answers to. What I think, Skip, is at the crux of this. Forget the fact that he tried to trade. He was willing to put Jimmy Garoppolo. He was willing to move on from Tom without Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
It's the mere fact that Coach Belichick treats a 5-time Super Bowl champ and a 4-time Super Bowl MVP the exact same way he treats everybody else.
That is correct.
And that annoys him. And I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a guy played on team with John Elway, Hall of Fame, Ray Lewis, You treat everybody fair, but you don't treat everybody the same. And most coaches will tell you that. But that's not how Coach Belichick is. Coach Belichick says basically, I'm going to treat everybody the same because everybody's going to have the same fate at one point in time. Either I'm going to release you or I'm going to trade you. So the more distance I have between you and I, the easier it is for me to do this.
That is true.
And so Tom can't get, and he's made mention, I'm surprised, and even his dad said, Senior, that Tommy is surprised that he doesn't have a closer relationship. They've never gone to dinner. They've never gone to lunch. They've never had. Basically,
told
it's
you
football.
they both play golf, but they've never played a social round. They
Right.
got paired together in
Correct.
a pro-am, but it wasn't by choice.
Right.
Go ahead.
So that bothers Tom,
Yep.
that his head coach does not have a more personal relationship with him, and that's odd. That's really odd, and it annoys Tom. But if you've been around this guy for 19 years now, you know him. He's not going to change. So you just might as well just go ahead and suck it up and say, "Yep, he tried to get rid of me, but I'm staying as long as I possibly can."
He did. He did say some nice things about Coach Belichick. He did say he's the greatest coach ever.
Yep.
And he did say that he maximizes his talent in ways nobody else has ever been able to maximize the talent. But I even thought that was a little between the line shot of we're always doing more with less, right? More with less. And in the end of the Malcolm Butler salvo, I also want to point out that Tom Brady did raise the issue that I have raised repeatedly on the show. Is it possible, in the vein of cutting off nose to spite face, that Bill Belichick tried to sabotage Tom Brady's attempt at winning a 6th Super Bowl ring against Nick Foles and company by not playing Malcolm Butler? I know it seems far-fetched, impossibly, like just outrageously wrong, but it just felt like you're not going to play the guy who played 98% of your snaps while you're getting torched by the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia. Really?
And at that point, Skip, what do you have to lose? It's kind of like, look at Game 7.
Yeah.
Ty Lue said, what the hell do I have to lose? I'm going to throw Tristan Thompson in there.
Tristan, I agree. So in the end of his salvo about Malcolm, he says, I don't think we were trying to do anything but win. I don't think we were. So it's like, I have thought about that. I've processed that. And I don't think we were trying to do anything but win. So he raised the issue.
You got to think.
Yeah, you had to actually think about, were we trying to lose that game? Because I'm pretty sure a bunch of players in that locker room after that game and going forward, we've heard from Danny Amendola, we've heard from Rob Gronkowski.
Correct.
I think they all wondered, what the hell was he doing?
Because normally, what do you hear, Skip? Coach Belichick always does what's in the best interest of the team. He's always going to play the best guys. The best 53 guys are on this roster, and the best guys are going to play. So in Coach Belichick, we trust. We believe that Coach Belichick is going to put us in the best situation in order for us to win a ball game. Now they ask him a question. He said, I think we were trying to win.
Yep.
You mean to tell me in an NFL game, you think you're trying to win?
Yeah.
I thought everybody takes the field, especially when you got that guy and you have that guy on the sideline. I thought everybody knew what was expected.
Right.
And now you got to think about it?
So now you have to wonder, genius or sabotage? Genius or sabotage? Not to play Malcolm Butler. And the other thing that caught my eye was Brady is making it clear Malcolm kept coming over to me during the game. Okay, you're trying to win a Super Bowl. Remember, you're the quarterback, and he made the case that the offense kind of stays on one side of the room and the defense, as you well know.
Yep.
And yet, during the game, Malcolm Butler, who's stuck on the sideline, while the defense is on the field, usually Tom's talking to Josh McDaniels about they're looking at the pictures, they're going over strategy. And he said, Malcolm, a defensive player, kept coming over to me saying, TB, like, well, what's going on here? Well, is that not a little distracting during a Super Bowl for you as the quote-unquote leader of the team? He doesn't try to present himself as the leader, but I would say he's
absolutely
right.
What he's hoping, Malcolm is hoping that Tom would get up off the bench and go talk to Coach Belichick
and say, well, what are you doing?
But even Tom Brady, as accomplished as he is, he knows not to go question Coach Belichick's decision. Now, you might question, he might, looking back now, I think we're trying to win, but he would never go during the course of a game. It's like Coach Belichick, I think Malcolm's ready. I mean, why is Malcolm playing? I don't know any player. Well, in Seattle, they did that. But that's an outlier, Skip. That's an anomaly.
But this is so egregious.
Yes.
It's so blatant that it would require maybe the quarterback to finally say, Coach.
It would take somebody that.
What's going on?
Yes.
Did you forget?
Yes.
That he's
it
over
would take
here?
someone as accomplished as Tom Brady to even to have the gall to be able to broach Coach Belichick in the heat of it. In that game, Skip, to approach the coach and say, Coach, I mean, Malcolm is over here and we're getting torched in the passing game. Why isn't he not playing? I don't know if he'd approach, Coach, Malcolm. I think Malcolm said he's ready. Normally that's what guys will say.
Remember, the other DB said they were forced to go to their dime package at halftime. 6 defensive backs And it now 6 don't include Malcolm?
Yeah, exactly. So in other words, you're trying to tell me there were 6 DBs on that team that's better than Malcolm Butler. That's what Coach who am I, Skip? I mean, and here's the reason why no one has called him on this, or he's gone unquestioned about this decision. The man has 5 Super Bowls. The man has taken very marginal talent. He might, at the end of the day, only have 2 Hall of Famers. That's Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski that he drafted. Now, Randy Moss, we know he got in the Hall of Fame, but he didn't draft Randy.
That's a good point.
That he drafted. And people are looking at him like he's above reproach. And so no one has ever, it's hard for me to believe, Skip, that any current coach, other than Coach Belichick, could have made a decision like this, have it backfire on him the way it did, and not have to answer a word, and just basically say, played who we thought would win.
So, bottom line to yesterday, I believe that Tom Brady felt re-empowered enough to make those statements or drop those mic statements between the lines. I know it's for Brady, but this is outspoken for Brady. But I feel like he was empowered enough to think, I am now back in charge. I am winning because what happened in the draft? This was pretty shocking. He didn't draft one, and he had the ammunition.
Well, he didn't draft early. He got didn't they draft
Danny Atling with the 7th?
Yeah, listen, nothing.
I'm more of a threat to Tom Brady than Danny Atling is. Seriously, I am. I don't even know what that meant, because every time I watched him at LSU, especially when he's playing St. Nick's defense, he was just lost. It's just like they were hamstrung at quarterback, and then you draft him in the 7th round. So you went from Jimmy G as a real threat to you've got the ammo, you got 2 firsts and 2 seconds that you could package and go up and get one of those quarterbacks if you so chose, and either RK, Robert Kraft, said no, which is possible. Maybe he just said, you can't do this again to Tommy, or Belichick backed off and said, okay, I'll play it his way. And what did Belichick do with his first 2 picks? He got an offensive lineman, and he got Sony Michel, who could be an even more electric Dion Lewis, a little bigger, a little more explosive Dion Lewis. So,
and he traded for another lineman from San Francisco.
No, he did. And so he refurbished the offense that lost Nate Solder and Dion Lewis and others.
Could I ask you a question, Skip? And maybe it's because of the loss. But if you had asked Tom Brady prior to this year, well, let's go back, after the Super Bowl last year, does he feel appreciated? What do you think his answer would have been? Slam dunk, no doubt.
No, it'd be like, why are you asking me that question?
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Do I feel appreciated? Wouldn't he just said, what are you asking me for? Yeah, I got the greatest job in the world.
Exactly.
I'm on the greatest team with the greatest coach and the greatest. Wouldn't he have said that?
Yes.
Everything changed at that moment when it became clear to him, as you have pointed out many times, you are about to be made history by your head coach. He is breaking the bond of 18 years. You've been business partners in this together, right? And he is selling you out for your young backup quarterback. That's what happened, and it took the owner to intervene, and then it looked like the owner was waffling and sort of siding with the head coach thereafter. And now Brady is calling both of them out. But at least he doesn't have the imminent threat of Sam Darnold sitting behind whoever it is.
But he had to do it in such a way, Skip, as not to come off as being a diva. He had to make it seem as if he was joking. He's being sarcastic. Guys, I can't stand him.
But isn't that Brady?
Yeah, that's him. Okay. That's how he did it, Skip. He has to come off still as golly gee whiz Tom, not rantish. But by his stretch, this is a rant.
Yeah.
For us, I mean, for you and I, this is nothing.
No,
but for him, he's ranting.
It's scathing. And yet, in the middle of the rant, he re-emphasizes the point, I'm going to play into my middle 40s. So he's saying he's going on 41. He will play next year at 41. It's August the 3rd is his birthday.
Correct.
And he's saying, I want to go to whatever, 44, 45. And so he is redrawing the line in the sand for his head coach by saying, I'm here, and you're going to have to like it, or you can leave. Right? That's basically what he's saying.
I mean,
or you can leave.
Everybody doing a lot of talking. Everybody doing a lot of things, Skip. Something's got to come to a head, Skip. Now, I mean, this thing's been simmering. It's been 325, and it's been cooking for a while now. It's about to be done. Somebody's going to have to take the pot off the stove.
Somebody is, because The greatest thing Bill Belichick has had going for him for the last 18 years is that his quarterback completely bought in to his way, the Patriot way.
Correct.
And Brady said yesterday, what was his line about? He's hard to play for.
Yeah.
Like,
Anybody ask you that?
Okay.
He brought that up.
He brought it up.
He brought this.
But before, he knew he was hard to play for because everybody knew he was hard to play for, but the quarterback kept telling everybody in the locker room, it's okay. It will work.
Yes.
Let's do it and see what happens. And then the quarterback saved the coaches behind a few times in fourth quarters and made it all look like it worked, right?
What coach you know that wins a lot? That's not difficult. Ask the Packers. Those 60 Packers was Coach Lombardi. Ask the Cowboys about Coach Landry.
I know.
Ask the Spurs about Coach.
I wrote a whole book about they did not love Coach Landry. But they won a lot of games.
What's one of the things that's leaking out in San Antonio?
Yep.
How Kawhi wants Coach Popovich to tone it down a little bit in practice. So everybody knows if you win a lot, it's not easy. And even for players that win a lot, it's not easy playing alongside them.
Everyone would do it.
Thank you. But he put that out there. Ain't nobody asked you was Coach Belichick hard to play for. You volunteered that.
But you've seen hard to play for coaches who have come and gone quickly because they did not win right away. And if they don't, the whole locker room will turn on you and you will be fired.
And Coach Belichick's like, why would I change now? I got 5 Super Bowls. So if he had no Super Bowls, he would have no choice but to change. I guarantee you if Josh McDaniels were to get another job, he will be different than he was in Denver. He has to change because he didn't have any success. When you've had that kind of success, you think he's been lighting up.
Josh McDaniels cannot operate like Bill Belichick.
No.
He's not Bill Belichick.
No, that's not his personality. He tried to be something that he's not. That's his personality. If you think you're going to get on the phone and call it, you retire. Like I can call Mike Shanahan like it's nothing. He picks up the phone. If he don't answer the phone, he'll call me back. I can call Brian Billick. What former player you think can call Coach Belichick and he going to pick up the phone?
Well, the Jimmy Garoppolo situation aside, I think that if they had gone out there and lost with the team that they had played with all year, then maybe they could deal with it. Like they were just the best team on that day. But the fact that you didn't feel like you had your best team out there and they were available, that's a harder pill to swallow. Are the Sixers in big trouble after their loss in Boston last night? We'll discuss that next.